A wise woman understands that love is not about revealing everything at once. It is about knowing what to share, when to share it, and what should remain sacred within herself. She doesn't play games, but she also doesn't hand someone the complete map to her heart before they have earned the responsibility of holding it. Here are 6 powerful lessons every woman should remember. A wise woman never tells a man these 2 things. A wise woman doesn't tell a man everything she would be willing to sacrifice just to keep him. She may love him deeply, care about him sincerely, and want the relationship to last, but she understands that love should never require her to abandon herself. When you tell someone, "I will do anything for you," you may think you're expressing loyalty, but sometimes you're unknowingly telling them that there are no limits to what you will tolerate. Never make promises that communicate desperation. Don't tell him, "I could never leave you," especially when he is treating you poorly. Don't tell him, "No matter what you do, I'll always stay." Those statements can turn genuine love into a permission slip for disrespect. A healthy man should never need to know that you are too afraid to walk away before he decides to value you. A wise woman lets her actions communicate commitment. She shows love through consistency, honesty, support, and respect. But she also maintains standards. She understands that being loyal doesn't mean accepting betrayal, and being patient doesn't mean tolerating repeated disrespect. You can love someone and still have boundaries. You can forgive someone without allowing the same behavior to continue. You can want a future with someone while understanding that your future does not depend entirely on them. The strongest thing you can communicate is not, "I'll do anything to keep you." It is, "I love you, I value what we have, and I will give this relationship my best, but I will never lose myself trying to hold on to someone." That mindset creates a different kind of confidence. You stop chasing approval. You stop begging for attention. You stop trying to prove that you're worthy of being loved. You simply become secure in who you are. And when a woman knows her value, she doesn't have to announce it. Her boundaries, choices, standards, and behavior speak for her. A wise woman never tells a man these 2 things. A wise woman understands that her past is a part of her story, but it is not something she has to reveal all at once. Honesty matters in a healthy relationship, but honesty does not mean handing someone every detail of your life before they have earned your trust. There is a difference between being genuine and giving away your deepest vulnerabilities too quickly. When you first meet someone, you are still learning who they are. You are watching how they communicate, how they treat people, how they respond when they are frustrated, whether they respect boundaries, and whether their actions match their words. Time reveals character. That is why a wise woman allows trust to develop naturally before opening every door to her personal history. You don't need to hide your past, but you also don't need to explain every mistake, every heartbreak, every relationship, or every painful experience immediately. Some parts of your story are sacred. They should be shared with someone who has demonstrated that they can handle your vulnerability with maturity and compassion. Oversharing can sometimes create emotional attachment before genuine trust has been established. You may feel extremely close because you've revealed things you've never told anyone else. But emotional intensity is not always the same as emotional safety. A wise woman pays attention to consistency. Does he listen without judging? Does he respect what you tell him? Does he keep private conversations private? Does he use your vulnerabilities against you during arguments? Does he make you feel safe enough to be honest without making you regret opening up? Those answers matter. Your past does not make you less valuable. Your mistakes do not define your future. You don't need to rush to prove that you're completely transparent. Let him earn access to the deeper parts of you through his character, his consistency, and his respect. You can be honest without being exposed. You can be vulnerable without being careless. And you can love someone while still protecting the parts of yourself that deserve patience, trust, and understanding. A wise woman never tells a man these two things. A wise woman never tells a man that he is her entire world. She can love him deeply, appreciate his presence, and genuinely want a future with him. But she understands that a healthy relationship should add to her life, rather than become the only thing that gives her life meaning. When you make another person your entire world, you can slowly begin to lose yourself. Your goals become less important. Your friendships become distant. Your passions get pushed aside. You start measuring your happiness by his attention, his messages, his mood, and his approval. Before you realize it, you're no longer building a life with someone. You're waiting for someone to make your life feel complete. That's not love. That's emotional dependence. A wise woman keeps growing even while she is in love. She continues pursuing her goals. She takes care of herself. She maintains meaningful friendships. She develops her talents. She makes time for the things that bring her peace and purpose. And here's something powerful. Having your own life doesn't make your love weaker. It makes your love healthier. You don't need to constantly remind a man that you can't live without him. Instead, let him know that you choose him. There is a huge difference between needing someone and choosing someone. I need you because I have nothing without you creates fear. I choose you because I value what we have creates strength. A mature man should want a woman who has her own identity, dreams, standards, and direction. He shouldn't want to be worshipped as the center of her existence. He should want to build alongside her while she continues becoming the best version of herself. Never stop being the woman you were before the relationship. Keep your dreams alive. Keep your standards strong. Keep your connection with yourself, because the healthiest relationship isn't two people becoming one person who loses themselves. It's two whole people choosing to walk together while still knowing who they are individually. Love him, but don't disappear inside the love. Appreciate him, but don't make him responsible for your happiness. Build with him, but continue building yourself. A wise woman never tells a man these two things. A wise woman never reveals her deepest weaknesses simply to test whether a man truly loves her. She understands that vulnerability is powerful, but vulnerability should come from trust and genuine communication, not manipulation or emotional games. There is a difference between telling someone how you feel and creating situations designed to force them to prove their love. A woman might sometimes think, if he really cares, he'll notice. Or if he loves me, he'll chase me when I pull away. But these games can create confusion instead of intimacy. A mature relationship doesn't require constant tests. If something hurts you, communicate it. If you need reassurance, ask for it. If something feels wrong, address it directly. You don't need to create emotional situations just to see whether he will react. A wise woman knows that the right person doesn't need to pass secret examinations every week. She also understands that not every personal insecurity needs to become a weapon in a relationship. Your fears, past wounds, and sensitive emotions deserve compassion, but they should be shared responsibly. When you reveal something deeply personal, it should be because you trust the person enough to let them understand you. Not because you're trying to control their behavior. Healthy vulnerability sounds like, this situation made me feel insecure and I want to talk about it. Manipulation sounds like, if you really love me, you would know what I'm thinking without me telling you. One creates communication. The other creates pressure. A wise woman gives a man the opportunity to understand her instead of expecting him to read her mind. She expresses her needs clearly and then observes how he responds. Does he listen? Does he care? Does he make an effort? Does he respect what you've shared? Those answers tell you much more than any test ever could. Never be ashamed of having weaknesses. Everyone has them. Your strength comes from knowing yourself, working on yourself, and choosing people who treat your vulnerability with care. You don't need to manipulate someone into proving their love. Let their character reveal it naturally through consistency, respect, honesty, and action. A wise woman never tells a man these two things. A wise woman never tells a man that she doesn't know her own worth. She understands that confidence is not about believing you're better than everyone else. It's about knowing who you are, recognizing what you bring to a relationship, and refusing to accept treatment that constantly diminishes you. When you don't know your worth, you may begin looking outside yourself for validation. You may need constant compliments to feel beautiful, constant attention to feel wanted, and constant reassurance to feel secure. And when that attention disappears, your confidence disappears with it. A wise woman doesn't build her identity on someone else's approval. She appreciates compliments, but she doesn't depend on them. She enjoys affection, but she doesn't beg for it. She values commitment, but she doesn't sacrifice her dignity just to keep someone committed to her. Knowing your worth means understanding that love should not require you to tolerate disrespect. It means recognizing when you're being taken for granted. It means having the courage to say, "This behavior is not acceptable to me," even when you're afraid that setting a boundary might cost you the relationship. Some women stay in unhealthy situations because they believe losing the relationship would mean losing their value. But your value does not decrease because someone fails to recognize it. Think about a diamond. If someone doesn't understand its value, does the diamond become worthless? No, the same principle applies to you. You don't need to convince a man that you're worthy of respect. Your character, your standards, your consistency, and the way you carry yourself already communicate that. And knowing your worth doesn't mean becoming arrogant or treating people as disposable. It means loving yourself enough to maintain healthy boundaries while still giving love, patience, and understanding. The right man won't be threatened by a woman who knows her value. He will respect her standards. He will appreciate her strength. He will understand that she isn't difficult simply because she refuses to accept anything. Never make yourself smaller so someone else can feel bigger. Never silence your needs just to keep someone comfortable. Never lower your standards because you're afraid of being alone. You can love deeply and still choose yourself. You can forgive someone and still establish boundaries. You can want a relationship and still walk away from something that consistently destroys your peace. A wise woman knows that being loved is beautiful, but knowing and respecting yourself is where real strength begins.